Ni hao, my name is Rachel Stone with AARP. Thank you so much, Sophia.
Greetings to you， 我的名字叫做 Rachel Stone， 谢谢你 Sophia。
And AARP California is honored to join our good friend Happy 50 Plus to celebrate Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
所以我们今天 AARP 很高兴能够跟乐活50+一起来参与，也来庆祝我们这个亚裔纪念月。
And we want to congratulate you on your continued success and all you've done for your community.
我们也要特别想到，就是说你们在这个社区里头所做所有的贡献，我们特别呢也来认知亚裔在这个月里。
And to learn more about AARP and our work with the AAPI community, visit aarp.org/AAPI.
所以如果你们想要知道说我们 AARP 在这个亚裔社区里头有做什么样子的参与的话，那么就欢迎到我们 AARP.org 斜一条线，然后就是 AAPI。
All right, so let's get started with today's presentation about brain health.
所以我们今天就开始来讲一下大脑的健康。
And I'd like to ask the room, who here participated in our 6-week Zoom music and brain health class back during the pandemic?
请问一下，我们在座有没有人在那个时候我们在俊感在网络上面跟我们一起来参加音乐以及绿野的那个活动，在网络上面跟着我们 AARP 一起参与的有没有人？请举手。
Okay, so a few of you. Well, that was a wonderful experience, and we've continued to talk about brain health. It's an important issue at our booth. We have lots of good information for you available in language.
所以我们真的很高兴，我们刚刚有看到有几位知道的，我们是希望你们能够来看看我们的摊位上面，因为我们在这个头脑这一方面如何让它健康有很多的资讯，而且是在您的语言。
So let's get started.
好，我们开始。
And first, a disclaimer, I am not a physician. I don't even play one on TV. So any advice you hear today, just consider guidance. Be sure to check with your physician before making any major changes.
首先呢，先讲一下，我不是医生哈，我甚至在电视上面我也没有演过医生，所以呢，我这边跟你们讲的就是我们的一些指南。如果您在任何这种健康上面有疑问的话，请询问你自己的医生。
We are going to go over the 6 pillars of brain health.
我们今天要讲的是帮助大脑健康的6大支柱。
So those 6 pillars are being social, engaging your brain, managing stress, ongoing exercise, restorative sleep, and eating right.
所以我们的大脑的健康这个支柱，第一就是要去社交，第二呢就是让你的头脑能够被用上。 第3，能够让你知道怎么样去疏解压力；第4，就是去运动；第5，就是有恢复性的睡眠；第6，就是吃得好。
Let's start with pillar 1, which is being social. And the good news is you have already checked that off your list of brain healthy behaviors today.
所以第一样呢，就是讲到这个社交哈。那么你们已经可以打个勾勾了，因为你们今天在这里。
And social engagement is so important for many reasons, but one of those is if you are isolated, it has been proven that social isolation can actually increase your risk of dementia up to 50%.
我们实际上在实验上面呢，已经证明了，如果说您自己把自己孤立起来的话，那么得到这个失智症的可能性是增加了50%。
Another reason why I'm grateful we were able to gather on Zoom during the pandemic where this became a real problem.
所以呢，那个时候在俊感的时候，我们真的很高兴，我们在网络上面提供了很多的咨询，所以就是能够帮助让人不觉得孤立。
And being social looks different for different people, but you might want to consider an art class, a music class, learning a language, volunteering. So take some ideas that we have here today and think about how you might start to socialize more, maybe what friends you want to invite along with you.
所以呢，对每一个人来讲，你的社交是叫什么样子，提起你兴趣，那个是因人而异哈。你可能喜欢艺术，你可能喜欢音乐，你可能喜欢学新的语言，或者是说你带个朋友上网络去看看有什么可以一起来做的。
AARP has many resources for staying connected, so feel free to take a photo of this. We'll make sure it's available after, but lots of resources for you.
所以这些都是我们在网络上面的资源的例子。那么你们可以在这个时候照个相，所以你就可以去上网去查查看。
Second pillar of brain health is engaging your brain.
然后第二个呢，就是让我们的大脑有机会活动，受到挑战。
So that means finding creative ways to keep your brain active, and it doesn't have to be complicated.
所以就是说，有创意的能够让你的头脑来多多的活动，不需要做得很复杂。
So while it's great to take a class, learn a new language, it could even be as simple as taking a different route to the grocery store.
你可能说好，那我就去上网去学一个新的语言，但是也不需要那样子。你可能就是说，你去买菜的那条路，今天走个不同的路吧。
And that grocery store example shows you get used to something and you stop thinking about it so much. It becomes almost like muscle memory. So even taking a different path is engaging your brain.
所以呢，这个他们已经看过了哈，这个实验上面也证明了，就是说，如果你走同一条路去买菜的话，你大脑基本上没有在用。但是当你走不同的路的时候，你就是在激发你的大脑在运动了。
There are so many resources for staying engaged. These are just a handful, including adult education through universities, online classes, online skill sharing. So take a look at the many opportunities for you.
好，再一次，我们在这里呢也是一样，有很多网络上面的资源哈，甚至于上一天的课，他们全部都有。所以呢，你也可以来照一下，然后上网看看。
So let's move on to the third pillar of brain health.
好，第三个支柱是什么？我们来看看。
And that is managing stress.
那么就是我们如何的来经营我们自己的压力。
Now, this can be a challenging one, but stress has been proven to negatively affect the brain.
这个的确对很多人来讲是个大挑战哈，但是压力的确对头脑来讲是负面的。
Stress can do things like raise your blood pressure. It may even lower your oxygen intake. So all of those things are things that will impact your brain health.
所以呢，我们讲到压力的时候，时常呢就会让我们的血压增加，然后呢，实际上也会对我们这个头脑整个的负面，因为呢，我们的氧气会减低。
Managing stress looks different for different people, and I don't want people to think they have to find an hour a day to do this. It can be a short moment.
所以呢，我们怎么样子去疏解这个压力的话，对每一个人来讲也是不一样的。你不需说一定硬性的每天1个钟头来疏解压力哈，看你自己喜欢什么。
So call a friend, watch a funny video, enjoy nature, be in the sun. All of those things are very simple, easy actions that will lower your stress and improve your health.
打个电话给朋友啦，看个好笑的电影啦，或者出去走走晒晒太阳啊，这些都是能够帮助你疏解压力的。
So another stress regulator, of course, is exercise and breathing.
另外一个能够帮你疏解压力的就是运动跟呼吸。
Now, I know this is a group that likes to dance, so you're already ahead of the game there.
我知道你们当中很多人都喜欢跳舞，所以呢，你们已经做到了。
But what I would like to do is just take a minute to teach you guys a very simple breathing exercise called box breathing.
所以我现在要教你们的是一个很简单的呼吸方式，叫做箱式呼吸，4角。
The advantage of box breathing is you can do it anywhere and you can do it quickly.
所以呢，箱式呼吸就是你随时随地都可以做，而且马上做。
Okay, so you will see this. Let's see if it animates. Ooh. Well, that's okay. It's supposed to be an animation. So let me step over here and show you how to do this exercise. I'll demonstrate and then we can practice together. So the first step is going to be placing the palm of your hand on your diaphragm. So that's kind of the very top of your ribs.
所以我在这里来做个示范哈。所以首先呢，就是把你的一只手摆在你的胸骨这边，把横膈膜这边，横膈膜这边。
Now, the reason you see 4 seconds is everything we're about to do, you'll do for 4 seconds each time.
然后你看到这边写个4，就是说每一样你都做4秒。
So I'll demonstrate. What you're going to do is breathe in through the nose for 4 seconds, hold that breath for 4 seconds, and then exhale through the mouth for 4 seconds.
所以你要从鼻子吸4秒，然后在你的腹部屏住4秒，然后用嘴巴呼4秒。
One last thing, the reason I recommend having your hand on your diaphragm is you want to make sure you're feeling your diaphragm expanding like a balloon.
好，那么我叫你手摆在你的横膈膜，最主要的就是希望说你在呼吸这个时候，你在吸的时候，你的横膈膜是往外胀的。
Yes, that means you're taking those good deep breaths and circulating as much oxygen as you can through the body.
所以就是表示你可以在这个深呼吸的时候呢，把这个氧气在整个身体里头运行。
Okay, so I will demonstrate and then we can all do it together.
好，我示范，然后你们跟着做。
So in through the new nose through for 4.
好，先吸1、2、3、4，然后憋住4，呼，1、2、3、4啊。憋住4。
And after you exhale, you kind of want to feel that empty feeling in your diaphragm for another 4 seconds.
所以呢，当你呼出来那个4秒之后，你可以感觉到呢，你这个横膈膜是空的，然后那个感觉你也一样憋住4秒。
So let's demonstrate one more time.
好，再来，我们大家一起
So again, in through the nose, hold,
吸
exhale, hold.
吸4秒，憋住4秒，呼4秒，憋住4秒，横膈膜。
All right, let's
好。
try it together. So
再来，
hand
我们
on
一
your
起。
diaphragm.
好，一起
Okay, so in through your nose for 4,
吸，
hold for 4,
憋，呼。
let's do
Yeah.
that one more time.
再来一次。
Thank you.
谢谢。
Who feels just a little calmer?
有没有
Just a
感觉到
tiny
比较
bit.
轻松一点？有没有人感觉到？
Yeah, it does. It helps lower blood pressure, and it's something simple you can even do while waiting for a red light. So very easy.
对，所以很简单啊，而且这个真的是已经证明过可以降低血压。你在排队的时候都可以做。
So let's continue on to talk further about exercise.
好，我们再来讲运动。
So we recommend about 150 minutes of exercise a week to improve your brain health.
我们是建议说，你一个礼拜呢有150分钟是运动的。
And the reason exercise impacts your brain health is it releases positive chemicals that help repair the brain.
那么，因为运动的时候呢，会让你的身体产生正面的化学成分，帮助你的头脑。
It increases your circulation and the amount of oxygen your brain is receiving.
然后也帮助让你的血液循环，让你的头脑能够得到更多氧气。
And it can really help reduce anxiety and improve sleep.
然后让你呢也会觉得说的焦虑会减低，睡眠也会变好。
Now, for those of you who were part of the music and brain health class, this is probably going to ring a bell. But how do you know what music you should pick out to really get good exercise?
所以我们这里呢，如果你有上过我们的音乐以及大脑健康课程，你大概比较熟哈。但是你平常的话，你可能会问说，那我要选什么音乐对我的大脑好呢？
So, I don't know if the animation is going to work, but if you can imagine John Travolta strutting his stuff in Saturday Night Fever.
好，我们现在来想象一下那个音乐哈，就是从有名的 John Travolta 那边来的。
Perfect. And I think we have an example coming up.
好，我们这里就是有一个音乐的例子。
Awesome. Thank you. Sorry the animation didn't work, but the reason that we want to highlight songs like that is because they hit what's called beats per minute or BPM.
那么我们刚刚这个示范的这首歌呢，虽然荧幕上面没有办法看到，但是你们可以听到，它就是讲到每1分钟的拍子 BPM。
And the ideal BPM for exercise is 106 beats per minute, which lines up perfectly with staying alive.
所以呢，刚刚那一首歌叫做 Staying Alive 呢，它就刚刚好是在我们的标准的106拍1分钟。
And there are many playlists online. If you just search for 106 BPM playlists, they'll pop up and they really help enhance your workout.
所以你在网络上面，你只要打106 BPM， 然后呢，就会有这些音乐都跑出来。
All right, so moving on to pillar 5 is restorative sleep.
好，那么现在讲的第5个支柱就是恢复性的睡眠。
Now, sleep is one of the biggest concerns that we hear during this workshop. So raise your hand if you're someone who kind of struggles with sleep on a regular basis.
通常我们这个时候呢，睡眠睡得好是一个很大的挑战。如果您对睡眠有一些问题的话，能不能举手让我们看一下？睡眠有问题的，睡眠有问题的举手，举手，举手。睡眠有问题的，对，对。
It is very common, and we all know the importance of sleep, and not just sleep, but quality sleep, restorative sleep.
对，这的确是睡眠问题是很普遍的哈，所以我们就是希望说大家能够睡得好，而且是有素质的好睡眠。
So, a couple of recommendations for getting restorative sleep.
所以我们这里呢，就来推荐怎么样睡得有素质。
Of course, you want to try to get 7 to 8 hours a night.
如果你每一天能够睡到7到8个小时是最好的。
Try to keep a regular sleep schedule. So, as much as you can, you're falling asleep at the same time and waking up at the same time.
尽量能够准时去上床睡，准时起床。
We recommend not eating or drinking about 3 hours before sleep because digestion can interfere with the sleep process.
还有就是睡前的3个钟头就不要再吃喝，因为那个会影响睡眠。
And I wanted to highlight, I know I'm not the only one who brings the phone to bed with them, is scrolling through. It's very common, but it's important to be aware that phones and iPads and TVs are emitting what's called blue light.
那么还有一点，我知道我自己也是很难做得到，就是那个手机，我们时常就是带到我们的枕头床边，或者是我们在看电视，但是他们这些都有蓝光。
And blue light tricks your brain into thinking it's time to be awake.
那么这些蓝光会让你的头脑觉得说，哦，应该起床了。
So if you have to have your phone, we recommend putting it aside when it's time to sleep. Turn it on what's called night or dark mode.
所以你的手机呢，你实际上可以有一个选项，就是说让它暗啊，所以你这个手机本身呢不会有那个蓝光。
That helps minimize the amount of blue light being emitted and makes it a little easier on your brain.
所以你那个蓝光就是尽量减低，所以对你的头脑也会比较好。
The last thing I wanted to say about sleep is sleep patterns can change, especially for women. Sleep can change around hormone fluctuations. So if you're noticing your sleep has changed dramatically, be sure to talk to your doctor about it.
那么说真的，这个睡眠呢，实际上也会因人的年龄改变，尤其是对女生来讲。所以你如果觉得你的睡眠真的很受阻扰的话呢，你应该也要跟你的医生来谈谈。
So last but not least, let's talk about healthy eating.
好，最后也是一样重要的，就是要吃得好，吃得对。
So our recommendations for a brain healthy diet include eating less meat and sweets, sugar when possible.
所以我们呢所建议的就是说，你吃肉要少一点，然后吃甜也要少一点。
We do highly recommend fish, dark leafy greens, nuts, and whole beans and grains.
我们呢的确是提倡的，就是能够来吃鱼、吃坚果，然后吃那些酶，好，或者是我们的这些豆谷，还有这些豆子。
And I know we are so lucky to have incredible farmers markets in this area, so be sure you're shopping for some of those dark leafy greens next time you're there.
还有很重要的就是绿色的蔬菜哈，所以如果你去那些农夫超市的时候呢，你尽量选那些暗绿色的蔬菜。
And of course, we do need to talk about some of the risks to brain health. So as you're thinking of brain healthy behaviors, also be aware of what you're doing that might put your brain health at risk.
那么你同时之间也要想到，就是说你的大脑健康，这个有什么会去阻扰它的呢？
Those include smoking, depression, certain medications, diabetes, hearing and vision loss, and heart disease.
所以如果你抽烟啦，或者是你有忧郁症啦，或者是你在吃某一些药，或者是有糖尿病，或者是你的眼睛看不好，耳朵听不好，或者是你有心脏的病。
And I wanted to touch on two of these in particular. The first has to do with hearing loss.
我要特别讲的这个就是你的听力如果减低了。
When you lose your hearing, it interferes with your ability to interact with the world around you, and that is something that can increase your risk of dementia.
当你听不清楚的时候呢，你就没有办法跟你的四周围连接了，那个时候就可能会得到失智的几率就增高了。
So think of your hearing health as part of brain health.
所以你的听力跟你的脑力是互相连结的。
The other thing I wanted to spotlight is a lot of people are under the impression that depression is a normal part of aging.
那么还有一样我要特别讲的就是，很多人觉得说，哎呀，忧郁症就是年纪大了就是这样子的。
But it is not. So if you find that you are feeling depressed, if your mood has changed, do talk to your doctor, your friends in your faith-based community, and know that a lot of help is available. And I'm so grateful we're discussing mental health today.
那么我很高兴，今天我们就是特别注重到，就是如何有一个健康的心灵哈。因为实际上，忧郁症不是一个普通平常事。你如果真的感受到如此的话，你可以跟你的医生讲，跟你的朋友讲，或者是如果去教会或庙，可以跟里头的人也讲。
So just to recap.
好，总结一下。
Few easy tips for maintaining your brain health. Establish a routine.
所以呢，我这里有几个建议哈。所以如果你要头脑健康的话，就是有一个好的规律生活。
Pay attention. So that means don't zone out. Really take the time to notice the small things around you.
所以呢，你把你的注意力能够集中，不要就这样子每天好像恍恍惚惚的过日子。
Avoid multitasking. The brain is not really well equipped to multitask.
你也不需要说同时之间想做好几样事情，因为你的头脑需要的是专注。
And it's hard to avoid, but use tools like calendars, reminder apps to help keep you organized so you're not having to hold all of this information just in your brain.
还有呢，你可以做一些帮助你的，比如说你把它写在日历上，或者是摆在你的手机上面，然后呢，你就不需要说只是靠这个大脑来做这些事情。
And take those small breaks wherever you can find them, and if you can, do a breathing exercise during it.
还有就记得，如果说你刚刚好有机会，就来做个呼吸的运动吧。
With that, I just want to share some of AARP's resources about brain health. Again, at our booth in the back, we do have in-language materials for you and many more online.
所以这边呢，又是我们在这个网络上面更多的资源，您可以照个相，或者是最好就到我们这个 AARP 的摊位上，我们可以告诉你我们所有的资源，而且是有包括中文。
So thank you again. Congratulations on this wonderful annual event. And please see me at the booth if you have any questions. Thank you.
谢谢你们，我们热烈掌声，谢谢我们主讲员 Rachel Stone。